there's two types of giving. There's Maaser and there's Tzedakah. Now, for Maaser has to be given off of income and without expenses, unless the expense is directly related to the income. Meaning, if somebody sells a product, let's say they sell a car, the car costs them, $5,000, and he sells the car for $7,000. Then he has to deduct the cost of the car from the 7,000, so he has 2,000 profit. He has to give Maaser off of that, so 10% off of 2,000. He has to give 200. But if he gets a income, let's say he gets a paycheck, doesn't matter where he's getting it from, whether he's getting it from a job or he's getting it from wherever else, a consulting fee. He gets a check for $5,000, and he has to give Maaser off of that $5,000. He should not deduct the expenses of whether it's rent or his shoes or his hair or his tanning salon or whatever else people have. If he wants to give real Maaser. Real Maaser is off the top. Unless, like I said, the expense is directly related to the income. So that's mitzvah of Maaser. Mitzvah of Tzedakah is any amount, meaning that it's not calculated off of any percentage. It's simply any amount, and a person can give as much as he wants, or as little as he wants. He has to give at least one puta, which in today's world is probably $1 or $2 each year, and he can give as much as possible. He can give everything. He can give $10, whatever he wants to give. Now, of course, regardless of whether he's using the Maaser or the Tzedakah for kiruv, he's still going to get a bracha. So whether he's using his Maaser for kiruv, or he's using his Tzedakah for kiruv, or both of them for kiruv, he's going to get a bracha. How much bracha he's going to get is based on how difficult it is, meaning how much mesirut nefesh there is in his giving. If it's he's really pushing himself, then sure. But if, let's say, for example, a guy that's worth $10 million gives $100,000, although it's a lot of money, he's not going to get as much sachar, as much reward as, let's say, a guy that makes $5,000 giving $500. Why? Because for the guy that makes $5,000, it's obviously a much bigger mesirut nefesh. So it's all relative, and you could see that the bracha that people get is significant. So the fact that you are, making videos when you can, and you're trying to publicize Torah when you can, and you're giving tzedakah when you can, and you want to give more, you want to do all these are good things. These are all good things, and HaShem, keep adding to every one of them, get stronger. You'll accumulate yourself a very, very significant amount of brachot that will help you with conversion, will help you with life, will help you overcome the Yetzirah. So that's all very good. Shukach. I'd like to add that if a person gives Maaser or Tzedakah to just some random Torah organization and or a rabbi, they have to be very conscious of the fact that who they give to has significant weight on the outcome of the bracha. So much so that Rabbi Nachman of Breslov writes that if somebody gives tzedakah Maaser to the wrong organization, to the wrong rabbi, meaning that this rabbi organization is not really doing the job. They're either just enriching themselves, or they are an apikos, or they really don't do, they're not doing the job. For whatever reason, they're not doing the job. That will have a weight on their actions, on their bracha, to such an extent that he considers it the same level as wasting seed. So much so that my Rabbi Ephraim, one time found out that he gave tzedakah to a woman that was asking and was in need, and then he found out that this woman, has, wanted to find out, maybe to help her or whatever. So initially gave her, I don't know, whatever he gave her, and then she was asking for more. So we had to do some investigation of who this person is, why they need so much, and then our assistant, God bless her, did some research on her. She found that this woman has, not modest pictures on her profile on the Facebook and TikTok and all these other places. Like, she's a regular person. It wasn't, but she is a completely secular person that is not keeping, that's not, much gol nefesh, not good. And he was in such shock that, first of all, he asked for her to give it back, because obviously it was given on a false pretense. But also, he completely removed this money from his Maaser, meaning that the Maaser that he was giving, let's say he had to give, just for argument's sake, he had to give 500 shekels. And he gave this 500 shekels to this woman. He now said, no, I didn't give anything. I have to give the 500 shekels again to the right place. And now I have to worry about this woman using this money to, continue buying not modest clothes, do bad things. So literally, big, and then when we did, she cursed us out and said nasty things, and the real animal came out. So it's important for a person to know that when they're giving Maaser, when they're giving Chomesh, if they don't give it to the right place, they give it to their local shul, or they give it to some local rabbi, or whatever it is, if it's not the right place that has significant weight to such an extent, again, like I said, in the name of Rabbi Nachman of Breslev, it's the equivalent of wasting seed. So it's HaShem Yerachem. So when people give to Bezot Hashem, it's not only that, Baruch Hashem, there's a major organization that, follows the nonprofit organizations called GuideStar and Candid. It's both the same company. They merged. Says with one of the most transparent organizations, and gave us platinum and all that stuff. But you actually see the work that Bezrat Hashem does. Unlike a lot of the places that continue to pump out new content and ask for donations, you don't really know what is the money for. What are they doing with it? Is it to just get more toilet paper and chairs in the office, or is it to actually help people? So when you see that Bezrat Hashem continues to publish not just more videos, but more books, and the books are given for free, and more USBs, and they're given for free, and more material that is being distributed, literally millions of dollars being spent, all to be distributed for free, all over the world. And you see the Baruch Hashem, all the amazing things that the organization is providing. It's from a dollar for dollar perspective, there's simply no other organization on planet Earth that you can compare it to. Just there's nothing else out there. And again, this has nothing to do with, it's just because I'm there, therefore I'm saying this. You could see it. You see the videos. You see the food distributions, millions of dollars being spent to feed people we don't even know, people we don't, we have no connection to as far as, these are not brothers and sisters. These are different people, random people that are in need, that we give in the food distributions, every holiday and throughout the year, every week. Somebody asked me last week, when's the next time you give money to Avrichim? What? Next time? Every week. Every week we give money to Avrichim. Every week we do a lot of different things. There's some campaigns that we do bigger than we do every single week, but the point is that there's constantly money being used to help Am Yisrael do TeShuva, get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and survive physically, survive spiritually. So the ultimate stamp of approval from Shemayim that we see is, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu rewards those that actually give with Mesirut Nefesh in a big way, where the stories are being published, and you see the people speaking for themselves, saying how a person that, was married for over 10 years trying to have kids, no kids. Started giving significantly to HaShem, all of a sudden there's kids, and there's another pain. Another one cured from cancer. Another one got extraordinary financial reward. Another one, miraculous business deals. Another one found shidduch for something that was completely out of the world situation of difficulty that Kadosh Baruch Hu made easy. All types of extraordinary blessings that people get and that they didn't see in other places, even when they gave much more to the other organizations and other rabbis and other places. So when you see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the sign of approval with such blessings, it's Baruch HaShem. It's amazing chizuk, both for the giver and also for those that are actually in charge of the Kasbei Ekdesh. This is Kasbei Ekdesh. This is money of Ekdesh, like the money of the Bet HaMikdash. Use it the right way. Kadosh Baruch Hu blesses everything and makes everything holy. So that's something important for people to know, that if you give, make sure you give to the right place. Because if you don't give to the right place, it's better off not to give. Because it can count as a sin, chas v'shalom. And if you give to the right place, you will see a blessing. If you do it with mesirut nefesh, meaning you push yourself extra, and I've said this time and time again, anyone that has given to our organization significantly, meaning relative to them, and did not see a blessing, stop giving. Stop giving. Why? Because there's something wrong with us, not you. Something wrong with us. And to this day, no one has ever stopped. There was one person that stopped, but it wasn't because of that. It was because they had other difficulties. And then later on, found out it had nothing to do with money. So it's a significant amount is relative to each person, and you're supposed to see a bracha in this world. Why? Because this is kiruv is one of the things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu blesses the person in this world. And whether it's for panasah, or it's for zivug, or it's for all of the blessings of the Torah get fulfilled. But it's only if a person pushes themselves, not if a person is just throwing money like they throw to some homeless beggar. It has to be with mesirut nefesh. It has to be with something that's difficult, something that's significant to them. And Bezrat Hashem, if they do it on a regular basis, there's no doubt that they will see blessings. And Bezrat Hashem, we'd love to have as many people see these blessings because it's good for them and it's good for Klal Yisrael. Chazakim Buchim.
We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless. It's a zilzul, disrespect to the Torah, and could lead to Chilul Hashem, desecration of God's name. Stick to our holy Torah and our own holidays. That's the path of a true Jew.